We are going to talk about Pendulum, a 2023 Malayalam film that just came out on OTT, so you can watch it right now. Welcome to Cinemando with Kathy and Amit. We are here to talk about Pendulum. Amit is our Malayalam film expert. He has a channel you all need to go subscribe. It's about Malayalam films specifically. They go deep dive. They do all kinds of great reactions. You definitely need to check it out. So this seemed like the perfect matchup. So what we're going to do is, this is going to be very exciting, you guys. Non-spoiler review right now here on my channel. Then, because you're going to be so intrigued, you're then want to go over to Amit's channel to see the more in-depth spoilerific version. So we're going to keep them separate so that you don't accidentally hear something you don't want to do. You're going to have to look for it specifically. I would say watch this movie before the spoilers, but do what you need to do.
Yep, you can do half and half.
Why not? Also, what I want to do, because it has been a while, we did some trailer reactions for this film. Since it's been a while, it came out a while ago, and they were ramping up. There were a lot of delays. Let's run through this trailer. You haven't seen the trailer.
No, I've not seen the trailer.
Let's take a look at the trailer. Also, most importantly, where can we find this movie?
Sanya Play, I think.
Sanya
Play. Sanya Movies. Sorry.
Movies.
Yeah, I've not heard too much about the streaming platform, but just browsing through some of their content, it's not bad. It's got quite a bit of movies there. So glad to see this. There you go, right front and center, so you won't miss it.
It's right front. SAINA. And that's where you can find it. Malayalam films only, and some of those are some of the best. I mean, they have some good actors.
They have some pretty good. They have some pretty good collections there. They have some good older stuff too. So not too bad. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna check out more of it. I've not seen it too much, but it sounds like it's a pretty good place. And you obviously saw Pendulum on that, so that's great.
Pendulum on there. So we're gonna take a quick. It's not necessarily an official trailer reaction, but we're gonna look at the trailer, and then we're gonna talk about a non-spoiler review about this film, which is very trippy. So you guys are gonna have to bear with us because it's fascinating. Okay, here we go. Let's take a look.
Doctor എന്തൊക്കെയാ പറയണേ? എന്നെ ആദ്യമായിട്ട് കാണും മുന്നേ ഡോക്ടർ എന്നെ സ്വപ്നത്തിൽ കണ്ടിട്ടുണ്ടെന്നോ? ഇതെന്താ മുറഗാമിയുടെ നോവലോ?
വെള്ളാരം കല്ലുകൾ നിറഞ്ഞ താഴ്വാരം, ഏഴാം വളവിലെ കുരിശൻ ചോട്. ഇവിടെയൊക്കെ ചെന്ന് അവനെ കുറിച്ച് ഓർക്കാനും അവൻ വരുമെന്ന് പ്രതീക്ഷിക്കാനും അല്ലേ പറഞ്ഞത്?
ഇതെങ്ങനെ?
എന്നാ അനക്ക് ഞാനൊരു മാജിക്ക് പറഞ്ഞു തരട്ടെ. സ്വപ്നങ്ങൾ കൊണ്ട് മറ്റൊരു ദുനിയാവ് തീർക്കാനുള്ള മാജിക്.
I love that. That's very cool.
Have you heard about lucid dreaming?
Yeah, the snail man.
Snails are cute. Nobody needs to be afraid of a snail. Come on, you guys.
കൊച്ചുമർത്ത യാത്രയാണ് ദൈവം ഞങ്ങളുടെ പുരാണത്തിൽ.
അതിന്റെ പുറത്തിരുന്ന എപ്പോ എത്തേണ്ടത് എത്താനല്ലേ?
I didn't like the way they drove that truck. That was scary.
Probably
not like that. At least they blurred it.
ആളൊരു മന്ത്രവാദിയോ സൈക്കോളജിസ്റ്റോ ഒന്നും അല്ല കേട്ടോ.
ഇത്രയും സ്ട്രേഞ്ച് ആയിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു എക്സ്പീരിയൻസ് എന്റെ ലൈഫിൽ ഇതിലുണ്ടായിട്ടില്ല ശ്വേത.
So much intrigue and mystery.
നിങ്ങൾ വേസ്റ്റ് ചെയ്തു എന്ന് പറയുന്ന ആ സമയം ഒരു സെക്കൻഡ് പോലും കുറയാതെ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് തിരിച്ചു കിട്ടിയിരിക്കും.
ആരാ?
ചതിച്ചാശാനെ.
Are you following that crazy dream of yours?
So, beware of your dreams.
After all, ഇതെല്ലാം ഞാൻ കണ്ട സ്വപ്നങ്ങൾ മാത്രമാണ്. Why should I trust it? ഇതെന്താ മുറഗാമിയുടെ നോവൽ?
I like that reference.
Yeah, it's very cool. It's great.
This dream is going to collapse now.
Wow.
I mean, also just the topography there and the logo. It's fantastic. And
I love
cast.
Yes, fantastic.
Yeah.
So as you can tell by looking at that trailer, I mean, it was gorgeous, like beautifully shot. And this is not a big budget movie, but it had
No.
some great lighting, and they spent a lot of time making this look expensive, and it looked really good. It was really glossy, so I really appreciate that. And gorgeous location. I mean, everything, all the greenery and everything. It's great.
Yeah, technically, it was great. Like, I think some of the ways that they shot some of the scenes. I remember they had one scene where they had like sort of a panorama where they would circle around the two characters.
Yes,
like that really well.
Very cool.
And some of the scenes with there's so many sort of great scenes that they had. I think it's shot well. So the technical team did a fantastic job, and that goes all the way down to people that did the poster design, to that little logo at the end that we saw. Obviously, Indran's had some pretty cool scenes with the fire there as well. Technically difficult scenes to get. So yeah, a lot to like about it. Just from the technical team were fantastic. I think they did a great job. So yeah,
they did a really good job. So beautiful. And then the main character is played by Vijay Babu, who I think is also one of the producers. And he basically is the center of our story. This is kind of his perspective in a way, even though there are technically, I think, how many simultaneous stories? 4 or 5? Like,
I think there's
a lot going on in this movie. It looks simple in the trailer, but I love their idea of lucid dreaming. Like, I like the idea that they think lucid dreaming isn't just where you're kind of aware you're dreaming kind of idea. They took it as like you're actually time traveling and going into different worlds. Like, it's not even just other people's dreams.
Other people's dreams. Yeah. I mean, just from that trailer itself, I would love to know if this movie did have inspiration from, obviously, Inception, because that coin
feel to it.
Yeah, because that coin tossing, isn't there there is a pendulum in?
Well, he has that little spinning thing. The
spinning thing, right? That's not a pendulum. Sorry, it's like a top. Yeah, that's a symbol for Inception. So they've kind of done something similar here. And also, we actually just talked about another movie to do with lucid dreaming, which was fantastic. Lucia from the Kannada film industry.
Yes. Oh my God, so good. Right? Yes.
Which basically took us somewhere else that we did not expect at all. So this is, echoing some of those movies. The other two movies that come to mind when it comes to lucid dreamings, and it did have that same kind of like you're kind of disoriented watching this film at times because you don't really know where you are, what timeline you're in, whose dream are you in, who's this character, where is he coming from. It's strange because it was like they jumped timelines in terms of like it's past and future. It was like past and present. Yeah, and I couldn't tell that at the beginning. Like, I just thought it was everything was present until the story progressed until about halfway, and you realize, wait, that story's from back then.
Right.
So I thought they did that pretty well, and the mystery element was great.
Yeah, it really was. And this was also, I mean, imagine, this is a directorial debut of Rajan S. Babu. And it's like, imagine you're a director, your first time, you're going to take on this? Like, so complicated, like, so intense. And like you said, it was sometimes hard to tell where you were in time. I feel like because the fashion didn't change that much, just in the context of the scenes, it was really hard to tell. I wish they'd done like a little bit of maybe a palette shift. Like a little, I'm watching a show called Murder at the End of the World, and they have these 2 time frames in that. When they go back into the past, it wasn't even that far. It has a more Instagrammy, a little warmer tone, and they look a little more, but when you're in the current day, it's cooler and a little bit more like, ominous. I would like to see a little bit more like cinematic indicator where you were in time, but at the same time, didn't ruin it or anything. I just made the viewer have to do a little more work to figure out where they were.
Yeah, I think once you realize things are sort of told, then you sort of figure out. But I think
we rewind and think back. I
kind of like those subtle techniques, because we did see, again, just referencing movies, we did together one movie which we saw a while ago from the Tamil industry, Mananan, that movie with Fahad Fasil. They had like an extreme view where when they went back in the past, it was like a strong black and white, like it was so obvious, and that was almost too much. It was almost too much. But I think somewhere in between. So I think
just a little vibe, not a major thing, just a tonal shift would be, but gorgeous. I think part of it too was our main character, Vijay Babu played Dr. Mahesh Narayanan. He didn't know what was happening at first, so we didn't know what was happening. Like we're trying to follow him, and he was confused, so we're confused. But we knew something was up. Yeah, we didn't know what yet. So it's just trying to navigate, which is part of the fun in the movie. Really, is trying to figure out where you are, what's happening, how do you get out of it, what's the end game, what is happening. And the first half is a little bit like it's sort of slow burn gets you in there just barely, and then when it kind of, I think about midpoint, you kind of go, oh, whoa, what's happening, and then
Yeah.
Then it kind of, in a way, takes off a little bit. I wish they backed it up a little more, but if you just sort of let it wash over you, it will pay off.
Yeah, it's one of those movies where there's not a clear direction at the start, and I think that's important for sort of viewers to know coming in. Like, you come into this movie, and I think it's not that uncommon. You come into a movie and you just sort of see how it goes, and then at some point you realize, okay, now we're getting the story. But it takes us a while to sort of really get going, I feel, and not necessarily a bad thing, because I was enjoying the performances. Like, I want to talk about Vijay Babu a little bit, because like he is. Like, from what I know of Vijay Babu, I've seen a few movies of his. He is more of a producer. I'm not sure if he's a director, but he did a lot of production work.
Yeah.
He's a producer for the movie Angamali Diaries, which is a pretty big deal. And then he's also, like, he's had some pretty iconic roles. So if you check out a movie of his called Adu, which is like a slapstick comedy, he plays like an iconic cop character, which I'll never forget. Like, it's so funny, and he's more a comedian. Cool. And he's also, we saw Home with him.
Home was so good.
He was so good in that. And like, I think he was almost like a breath of fresh air in that movie, because he was so, again, another psychologist.
I know, so he's a doctor.
And another tie-in with Indran's there. So those two, just, some more sort of carryover from those two. And the other one that you might actually like, that I saw recently, which was so pleasant that he was in, was a movie called Valati. I'm not sure if you've seen that movie. It's a movie about dogs. It's actually dogs are.
We did a trailer review of that. That looks so cute. I love it.
It was so nice. I really like that movie. It's really pleasant, and I really enjoyed it. But he is sort of the main, I guess, human in that movie. But the thing I like about this movie, Pendulum, it's a huge step up, because all those movies I mentioned, he's sort of playing a smaller role.
Yeah.
This is the first time I've seen him play a lead role, where he's had so much screen time and had to do so much in terms of delivery, in terms of, he has to carry the plot forward. He has to have some pretty big monologues and pretty big dialogues with some of the characters. So he was fantastic, as well as the actress as well, who I thought honestly should have gotten a bit more screen time, if anything. Like, she was fantastic. The actress Devaki Rajendran, she was the wife of Vijay Babu, essentially, in this movie. She was also really good in a limited role, and just that family dynamic, I enjoyed that at the start, because with the daughter and how they're going about life, it was pleasant. I enjoyed it.
It was really nice. It was, and again, gorgeous. It was fun to watch. It doesn't overplay the scary stuff. I like that he played it pretty low key. Like, he never overreacted. He had like scenes where he's waking up, he doesn't know where he is. Like, I thought I was hit by a car. No, you weren't hit by a car. You just fell down. He's like, what? Like, and he never really overplays it. I mean, he could easily have gone into cartoon land, but he did a really good job, I think, of maintaining a level of strength and like using his doctor training to kind of go figure this out, So I really liked that too. So they do some really smart stuff in this. I think it was really good. I was a little confused by the ending, but I don't mind being confused by an ending, because it leaves up for more conversation, which we can have on your channel. That's what we're going to do when we go to the spoiler reviews. Before we head off to the spoiler reviews, we'll do a quick look at the posters, because you also had mentioned how great the posters were, and the typography. The logo in that trailer was fantastic. That kind of steampunk thing.
Yes.
So they kind of carry it here. So let's show this. So we got that great logo again, and animated was great. I loved the way it was kind of like, the pendulum was going back and forth. I love it. They incorporated the clock. It was like this great steampunk looking thing. Here's our main character. So that's a great star cell for him. Really cool palette too. It's really nice. I mean, this movie is not steampunk at all. Like, I wish it had been a little more, science mad, this is a science lab, but it didn't do that. It was a little more low key, but the art is beautiful. A little bit of this.
This is also great. Yeah.
We see more of the
more of the characters, right? And sort of, I guess they're kind of, these are more like side characters almost, right? Like they were sort of there, and Angel probably has the biggest of them all. But they weren't like prominent characters.
They are dreamers. They were our dreamers, right? So we have a little bit. I hope that wasn't a spoiler. Whoops. And then we have just the I love the old timey radio thing on the clock. The clocks in there look like almost like dials, and another beautiful kind of steampunk looking design. But the movie is a lot more. These are gorgeous posters, but outside that, the movie is a lot more natural and grounded, as Malayalam films are. They're not usually too insane like that. You feel like there's always humans and they're on the ground, and you feel like you're part of it, emotionally. So. Definitely. We are going to have a spoiler review on Amit's channel. So be sure and click over to that, D54, and be sure to subscribe, like, and comment. And put in the comments what you think about this movie, your theories about the ending, your theories about what was going on certain times, the significance of the snails, which I don't know why everybody's so disgusted by snails. They're very cute. I don't understand. I'm always rescuing them walking across the sidewalk. I'm like, oh, little snail, get over here in the greenery. But I do that all the time. So be sure and check out our spoiler review coming right up. Okay. Bye.
Bye.